Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I'm your reader, Jay. This is going to be a general monthly reading for the sign of Sagittarius for the month of April 2018. Hello, Sagittarius, how are you? Thank you so much for stopping by my channel, clicking on this video, and giving it a look-see. As you can probably tell if you're a fan of tarot readings on YouTube, I'm a new person around here doing tarot readings, so I hope that you stick with me through the entirety of the video. And I hope that you find messages here that resonate with you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to meditate quickly on your energy. I was doing so previously before I hit record on this video. And I'm just going to reconnect with the energy. I'll lay your spread, and once all the cards are out on the board, I'll then jump into your reading, okay? That's too many. Too many. Sagittarius, you know, if you're not a fan of watching people shuffle on camera, feel free to check the description box below. There will be a timestamp I put there that takes you directly to when I actually begin your reading. And just a note about the music that you hear, that's for me. Helps keep me a little focused in the reading, especially when there are general readings like this. Just keeps things flowing for me. And as for now, I'm not much of a talker when I'm doing the shuffling. I'm new here, there's not much for me to share with you. Anything you want to know, you can check out the page for my channel, the About page for my channel. You can leave messages or comments below, or you can message me there through the About page if you want to know anything about me or ask me a question. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. Interesting. That was interesting. And just wanted to get your final outcome card here. Excuse me, Sagittarius. Before I begin your reading. And there it goes. Very nice. Bottom of the deck is going to be your overall energy for the month of April. Alright. And I will flip your cards over. Then I'll take a moment and get acquainted with the energies that have appeared here. And then I will deliver your message once I get all connected. Alright? See here. Better. Okay. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. All right. Listen, Sagittarius. Maybe that was a little aggressive sounding. I apologize. But yeah, you've been on pause, maybe a little bit. You've been at rest, contemplating, strategizing, resting. Really just taking your time with something. Like, I think part of you wants things to go fast, or wish that things were progressing a little more steadily, but they're not, and it's okay, because I think that's what's best serving you right now. I think you're here in both of these cards as your starting point for April. Like, I feel you're more in the Four of Swords than you are in the Nine of Wands, but I think they kind of share how you're coming into April, okay? Nine of Wands, Four of Swords. I'll start with the Nine of Wands, even though I don't feel you're there heavily. Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior, right? He's a guy who's been defending his post, defending his position, defending his feelings, his emotions, his projects, whatever it is. You've been on the defense for a while, and you're over it. Like, you really want to be done with having to defend yourself or having to stay in one place. More specifically, stay in one place. More specifically, uphold your position. The defending part, I don't think really bothers you as a fire sign, Sagittarius. You're used to kind of, sticking to your guns and being ready to take on any oncomers who want to engage with you in some form of combat, for lack of a better word. So I don't think it's the actual having to defend yourself or defend what your position is or what your focus is in your life right now. I don't think it's that. I think it's just the matter of the Nine of Wands can be a very stagnant energy. You can feel as if you're not making any progress because you're really not. This guy's standing in one place, right? He's standing there. He's holding on to one wand. He's got all these other wands that he has to keep upright. And that can be tedious, especially to a Sagittarius. Like, you don't like that. You don't like to stay in one spot for very long, but sometimes you have to, right? Like, sometimes that's what life makes you do, and there's something that you're supposed to be gaining from that. So as much as you're very tired of that energy, I think it's kind of like building up your character, so to speak. Like, it's really providing you with, it's allowing your perspective or your understanding of something, whatever situation we're talking about, whatever area of life this is really affecting for you. It's providing you with a lesson or a deeper understanding or an expanded understanding. And it's got you in the Four of Swords energy as well. Four of Swords is rest, respite, repose, where you're taking the time, or at least you're allowing for the time, you're allowing enough time for your energy to build back up. Okay? Some of your energy is being spent on the Nine of Wands, some of it. But the majority of your energy is being spent in getting ready to come back out and face the world, getting ready to go back out on another journey or another adventure or back to something that you've already encountered before. And this is like I said, it's not really a way that Sagittarius would like to go. You know, Sagittarius, like the other fire signs, Aries and Leo, you're spunky. You know what I mean? Like you love to do one thing and then get on to the next project, get on to the next adventure. If you were going out to bars with your friends, you're definitely like, okay, where are we going next? Or what's the next part of our adventure? Are we going to hit up a diner after we're done drinking? Are we going to go and walk around town a little bit? Like, you really are always on to the next. And in this very moment coming into April, you have been resting and you have been trying to get your mojo back, or that's what you're going to be doing. And I think it's because, not so much of the Nine of Wands, because that's, again, it's a defensive energy, or it's an energy of having to stand your ground. Like I said, I think Sagittarius can do that all day long. Like, it'll get boring eventually, so that might be what's going on here. You're getting bored of having to hold this position, and you're kind of waiting for the tide to turn or the circumstance to turn so that you're less bored. That could be a possibility here. But I think that you have just been, I'm really not sure what's going on with you astrologically. I wish I did, because I think like you have been put to task, I think. Because underneath the Nine of Wands, and connected also to the Four of Swords, is the Ten of Wands. And this is a card of carrying burden. This is the card of carrying a heavy load, right? You have been working hard at something, or not even necessarily working hard at something, but there has just been this incredibly difficult, or like I said earlier, tedious, or just trying element, or it's a situation. I don't see many people here. I see it's mostly you here. So I'm not even going to say this is like a relationship of any kind. Romantic, family, anything. Although it could be for some of you who are watching. It definitely could be. But on your actual board here, I'm not seeing, I see potentially like 2 other people. We'll talk about them later. But particularly where you're starting out in this corner here, it's all you. This is all your energy. This is all where you are, or where you're coming from. And you have just been feeling weighed down by something. And again, because this Nine of Wands is stagnant, and the Four of Swords by default would be stagnant, because you're laying down, you're not engaging with anything, you're really, it's not soul searching, but it is sort of like this waiting for mental clarity, or waiting for the green light on something. You have been weighed down. So maybe this is a time thing. You know, maybe it literally isn't necessarily a hard or a super heavy responsibility. It might just be you're literally like a dog on a racetrack waiting for the gates to open, or a horse on a racetrack. You're waiting for the gates to open so that you can go run your race. That could be it. Because even though this is something about carrying heavy loads, because of everything else, I feel like I said, it's not really involving other people. I feel that it's more circumstantial or situational. So it could be something like, okay, it could be like school, right? Or a job where you're waiting to hear back about a promotion or a new job opportunity, or you're waiting to see if you were accepted into your desired college, or your grad program, or your medical school program, whatever it is. So I think this is really, you're trying to beat the clock, or wait out the clock. And that would drive you absolutely crazy. That would give you this feeling of having to defend your position, or feel as though, should I really still be waiting to hear back from that job? How long are they going to make me wait to know if it's me or the other guy who's going to get the position? How long am I really going to have to wait before I get my acceptance letter in the mail or whatever it is? And so part of you is saying, you know what? Don't overthink it, or think about this differently. It's a huge decision whether to give the job to you or someone else. It's a huge decision, or it's a thorough process that has to happen if you find out if you're going to be in the cohort for grad school, or if you're not going to make it in this year's applications, So you're trying to, again, open your perspective, expand it a little bit. Try not to take it so personally, essentially. You're trying not to take it so personally. And I feel that even though this corner is pretty heavy, a lot of Wands energy, which is, and again, Wands is about action, right? Passion, movement. Stagnant energy, moving forward, but sort of at a slow pace or a slowed down pace. Moving forward, but not doing it well or efficiently. Like, look how he's carrying that bundle of wands. It is not the most efficient way that you can carry it. I mean, he's not like some primal man where he doesn't understand the use of tools and twine and rope. He could definitely finagle something together to make this easier on himself, but he can't, or he's so like wanting to go that it's making the transfer of these wands so much more difficult. So altogether, 10 plus 9, that's 19 wands, right? That you're basically not able to move forward with at a pace that suits you. Sagittarius is fast. Most of the time, I should say. Most of the time, you're fast, and you are being required to slow down. I think that serves you somewhat. Because you've got the Lovers, right? Underneath the Four of Swords, and right next door to the Ten of Wands. The Lovers is about choices. It's about other things. We'll talk about that in a second. But it is essentially about a choice. This or that. Him or her. Right or left. Him or her. Sometimes him or him. If we're talking about love and romance and all that. And so, again, I think it's a matter of you, within the month of April or thereabouts, either a little bit before, at the end of March, and maybe a little bit into May, depends. You might second guess yourself, or you might reaffirm to yourself, yes, I'm making the right choice. And I think like the Lovers coming underneath the Four of Swords is you're going to be reminded that you have a choice, or you had a choice in this, and you're going to not necessarily second guess yourself, but you might run down your rationale again of why you made the choice that you made. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't feel that there's interference here in the choices that you're making or that you want to make necessarily. I don't see much interference. And again, I think this is mostly circumstantial. I think there is a quote-unquote wrong choice or a less desirable choice that's offered to you, and it might be, like, I get this feeling like the other choice would get you out of the stagnancy a little faster, but in the long run might not be as fulfilling or might not be the best opportunity. It might be the easier of the two choices, assuming it's just two. It could be more than two. But there is an easier choice that would get you going and unhinge you from where you're kind of standing. But I'm not sure that would serve you if you just jumped into the easiest choice or the easier choice. I think this is telling you need to be patient. You need to be calculated or discerning, okay? You don't need to go like you normally would. You can, because free will and all that good stuff, you can do that. If you're tired of waiting, if you're tired of feeling like you're stuck, you can unstick yourself at any point in time. No one ever is truly tied to anything, okay? But I think here it's showing that there is the option to wait longer than you might normally do, and your outcome for it won't be too bad. You might feel a little off your game. You might feel a little bit like you've had a setback maybe. But again, I think in the long run you'll be okay. Because I think what's going to happen, or what could potentially happen, is once you start moving again, you're going to feel like this. Once you've made your choice with the Lovers, wait it out, take the easier route, whichever way, you're going to probably feel a little off your game. And that kind of fits Sagittarius also, where if you stick with it, you stick with waiting, you're going to feel off your game because you're going to feel like, oh man, I could have been hard at work on this thing earlier. I could have been hard at work on this project earlier. Oh, if I would have got my acceptance letter, I could have, planned my trip better, or planned my move to whatever city where your grad school is located. You could have been planning this earlier. You could have had sort of a leg up in the situation, or you could have been 1 or 2 steps ahead of the game, right? If you choose the easier route, you still might feel off your game because you're going to feel like, oh man, well, this is super easy. It's not even like challenging to me. That also just doesn't really suit well with Sagittarius. If you're going to go, 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 and you're going to put all your irons in the fire, you want there to be some kind of a challenge. You want there to actually be something worth working towards. If everything is, that's the trouble with the easier route. It will get you going. It will start your engine back up again, but it's not going to be a cool journey. It's not going to be a cool car ride. It's going to be like a straight thoroughfare, no scenery, And Sagittarius would much rather go like on a winding road, cool scenery, cool sightseeing places to stop at and check out. That's more your speed, right? So either way, I think you'll feel this for a while, this 8 of Pentacles in reverse, because when it's upright, I think you would feel more accomplished, more confident. Is that right? More confident? Maybe more. I think you would feel like the work that you would be producing, or the product that you would be producing, whatever the outcome of your hard work would be, any accolades that would come your way would be more warranted. So not necessarily confident, but you would just feel more open to receiving any acclaim, any rewards, any praise, When it's like this, you're like, oh, I'm doing it, but I'm not feeling that what I'm producing is worth reward, or what I'm doing right now could have been done in a more efficient way. Like, this is working and you're still getting the job done, but it's not as efficient, it's not as effective as it could have been if it had come upright. You know what I mean? But that's okay. That's still okay, because I feel that energy would be temporary. I don't feel that energy would really stick with you for too long, because I feel the primary place where you're headed is the 2 of Wands in the upright. 2 of Wands, okay? So again, more Wands energy, more of that go-go juice that you love so much, right? And this is good because you're finally coming out of this 4 of Wands, or this 4 of Swords space. When you get here, you're out of this. This will be gone. When you get to this point, this is done. This is done. 9 of Wands is done. This is done. This guy with his 2 wands, he's like getting rid of all this. This corner here is dusted away. So when you get here, things are opening for you. A whole new world. That's right. Just like just like Aladdin told Jasmine, a whole new world, okay? I think you're going to be in a much better position. You're going to be so much, not happier, but you're going to be more invigorated. You're going to be more excited. Like, you're already kind of like holding back your excitement. You're trying not to get yourself too psyched up here. Once you're here, that psyched up energy is released, okay? So if this is, again, dealing with school or work, okay, so you've started the new job. You arrive at the city where you're going to be taking your grad school courses, and you just see the world through new lenses, okay? You're thinking about the possibilities. You're thinking about your future. Like, this is the gateway to your future that you've been waiting to cross through, right? Beforehand, you were stagnant. You were waiting. You could have made a choice. You might have had a moment where you were reconsidering your choice. But once you get here, it's like, okay, game on, man. Game on. Where are we going? What are we doing? And that go that you're known for, and that might sound a little frivolous to you, or if there's some cross watchers here looking after what Sagittarius is doing, that might sound frivolous. Go. Sagittarius, when they go for something, it's not just because I want to go. It's because I'm trying to do something along the way, or there is an end goal there. So again, if you're going to go to grad school, what's the goal there? I want the degree. I want the experience. I want to be able to build up my resume and get experience and all that kind of stuff. If I'm going to take on this new job, or if I'm going to take the promotion, I want more money. I want to beef up my resume. I want to be able to network with new people. I want to be able to build my portfolio, whatever it is. It's not go in the sense of I need to get away from what I've had before. It's like, no, I want to add on to what I already have. Accumulation and experience are definitely things that Sagittarius is after. And here you are looking out over the world, or looking out over this view, and you're like, okay, I see more roads, I see more possibilities, I see more opportunities in front of me. Which one will I choose to embark on first? Because again, you're going to come back to this type of situation again, probably not with the same type of cards, but this same feeling again of, okay, I went down road A 2 years ago. Let's flash forward to 2020, right? 2 years ago, I was poised to choose a road, and I chose A. Now I need to choose my next road. Is it going to be B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K? You know, a plethora of choices, potentially. It might only be between B, C, and D. Who knows? But you will come back to this energy. This is an energy, this is a place where Sagittarius is very at home, looking out over the world, looking out over your environment, wherever you happen to be, and trying to figure out what's next. What's next? Whatever's next for you, Sagittarius, it's of your desire, it's of your making, because your outcome is the Magician, which is a fabulous outcome. Fabulous outcome. Okay? Magician he's an alchemist. He's a creator. He's a manifester. Okay? If you're familiar with tarot, you've seen this image before, and you're familiar with the Magician because he has all the tools at his disposal to make what he wants. What are the tools? He's got a pentacle there, he's got a cup, he's got a sword, he's got a wand. He's got all the elements within the tarot in front of him that he can use in different proportions to create whatever he wants. Now that doesn't mean he is actually a magician or a wizard like a Harry Potter type of character where I'm just going to wave my wand in the air or my sword or whatever and it just manifests. No, you have to work for it. It's not magic. He's not a magician like Siegfried and Roy or something like that where it's an illusion or something like that. Or it happens through like smoke and mirrors. Like, no. The name is not as cool. It does require actual work Not to say magicians don't actually work. Like, sorry, Siegfried and Roy, I know you guys are real people and you make real careers out of it. But what I mean is, just because you want it or just because you imagined it doesn't mean you don't have to go out there and get involved. Because his hand up to the sky there and then pointing to the ground along with the infinity symbol above his head means that he has been in connection with the divine, with spirit, with God, with the universe, with angels, whoever you believe in or whoever you don't believe in. You have been at least wishing, or maybe you've been writing letters to Santa. Who knows what you've done? But you have had a connection with something other than yourself, and you've asked for, you've wished, you've hoped, you've prayed for it to come into fruition in the real world. The magician appearing in your outcome means you've been heard, and now it's your time to step up to the plate, get to mixing up the different elements that are on the table in front of you, your cup's energy, your pentacle energy, your sword energy, your wand's energy, and make it work. Like, essentially, the magician has the blueprint. He just has to follow along and build it himself. For a more or a slightly less abstract way of thinking about it, I want a new bookshelf. Oh, look, there's an IKEA. Oh, look, there's the bookshelf I've been wanting. It's perfect. I want it. Okay, so what do you got to do? You have to go into the store. You have to pay money for it. You have to take the bookshelf home, and you have to assemble it. That's sort of what you need to do. The road is open. The course for you to take is open. You just have to initiate your action along the way. Okay? And again, it has to be proportioned. It has to be the right balance in order for it to be successful the way that you want it to be. And that is up to your own personal discernment, okay? In whatever area of life you're talking about. Now, the most not so cool energy that you have here, or card that you have here, is the Seven of Swords in your overall energy. This is where I feel like there could be another person involved. And they might link back to the Lovers, because again, Lovers is about choice, and sometimes it is about choosing between two people or more than two people, what have you. But usually between two people. And there's this fellow here in the Seven of Swords. And again, if you're familiar with tarot, you know this guy. You probably don't like this guy. He's the thief. He's the dastardly bum who's stealing all the swords that don't belong to him or only partially belong to him, but he thinks that co-ownership means complete ownership. And it's just not usually a very positive energy, and I'm definitely not feeling it as positive. But because it's overall, I feel like this is like what may have inspired you, or what may have been the catalyst for you to start off here in the corner. And it might also, like I said just a second ago, might also factor into your moment of, am I really making the right decision, when you come across the Lover's card and the Lover's energy. So what could this be? This could be a person who you were involved with in some form or fashion, in some area of your life, romance, business, family, what have you, that did some sneaky things, that didn't treat you well, that didn't honor a contract, didn't honor a commitment, didn't honor his responsibilities or the responsibilities that you shared, and he dipped, right? He got what he thought he was due, and he dipped. Literally stole from you, literally deceived you, whatever, or just ghosted, potentially. Might have just been a ghosting situation. And that could definitely increase the burden that you carried previously, sometime in March, maybe, February also. Or any time previous to April. And that could have, his bouncing out, his ghosting on you could have increased the weight that you had to carry, the burden that was on your shoulders, could have increased or made it definite that you had to defend yourself, or you had to stand your ground, or you had to wait for something to expire or transform or be alleviated. And then you take that resting period, right? And then you go back and you think about perhaps this decision that you made wasn't, like I said, involving this person. And maybe it was a decision that you made previously that you revisit. Man, why did I get involved in business with Brian? I should have never trusted that guy. And that's kind of where I think I don't think the lovers can be like you going back and really think about, can you have a do-over? Like, can I go back, not go back and change, but go back and choose the other option? That could be it. But it also can be just a reflection on the choice that was already made sometime previous to April. So it can be actually going back and making another choice that maybe has nothing to do with this deceptive person. Like I said, it could be, instead of going to grad school in Virginia, you want to go to grad school in Nebraska. It could be that. Okay? But it can also be a reflecting on a choice that you made previously. And the the positive or the upswing of the Seven of Swords being in an overall energy is that it is informing what's going on here, but it's not affecting it. At least it's not going to affect it as far as when you get to the Two of Wands and with your outcome in the Magician. I just don't feel that the Seven of Swords character, and it can be a woman. I only say he because there's a man on the card. It can be a woman who is dastardly and not such a nice person. Women can do anything. Anyway, when you get to the Two of Wands and you get to the Magician, this energy will have been depleted, or it will be sort of way in the far back of your mind. Way, way elsewhere, not even really touching you, especially when you're here. Because here I feel you're just so inspired and you're so fixed on what's new, what's next to come, how can you improve yourself, or how can you get this wonderful new opportunity and really capitalize on it. This person, what they've done, the energy that they brought into your life is out. Or at least, if it's not completely out, it's on its way out. Because, look, your back is to this, right? And I mean, I just get the feeling that this guy in the Two of Wands, he's so transfixed by what he sees out in the looking above. He's like looking over this pastoral area, and he's just in love and transfixed by it. And this guy, even though he's walking towards you, so that might mean this person still might be behind you, like lurking in the scenes, or they might still have some kind of, energetically, they still might be with you or near you or wanting to be in contact with you, but his face or his eyes are oriented away from you. So there might be some intention to follow you or still be involved with you, but their attention is elsewhere, and they might be plotting to be dastardly and full of BS and trouble elsewhere. It's like, they still want you on the hook. They still want to be in your business, but when the next time to get over on someone is available, they're going to turn around and go elsewhere. So that's why I feel, again, the Seven of Swords is informing everything that's happened here, or that might be happening here come April, but it's not sticking around. And if it does, just grin and bear it. You'll be able to handle it. Okay? So, Sag, I think that's pretty much it. Like, even the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, I'm not feeling that as being, like I said, detrimental. I think, like, that's just, you're going to be off your game for a minute. I do feel this is mostly, like I said, work or school, some type of, in a way, a personal development thing that you're going through. This could be spiritual as well. You know, maybe you're getting into a new, why would I say that? Like, this guy's in a church. Like, I perceive it as a church because there's stained glass here on the card. And it's not like a coffin, but it's sort of like, God, I can't remember the word for what that is. But it's not a coffin, but this person is like, and wands are spiritual cards. They're about the spirit. They're about, you know, your conviction, the convictions that you hold in your gut. So there might be some religious or spiritual overtones here, if it's not about work or school. And for those who might want to think about relationships, it could have been, I'll try and run through this really quickly. It could have been that you had someone who did the dirt on you with the Seven of Swords previously. Or it could have been you. In general readings, always take it vice versa. I should have been saying that way earlier in the video, but as a general reading, especially if you've watched them on YouTube before, you kind of know the deal, right? So either you did the dirt on someone or somebody did the dirt on you in the past, or it's kind of informing what's happening in April. So who knows how long ago it was. Could be happening right now. And it's burdensome. It really tires you out. And you feel like you were wronged. And you're going to stand your ground. And instead of engaging with this person, which is definitely, I feel, something that a Sagittarius would do. Especially if you have certain placements in your birth chart. Oh my gosh. You definitely will let the person think they've got the one up on you. But secretly, you're about to change your whole perspective. And you're about to get out of there yourself. Oh, you cheated on me? You think that you can treat me that way? Okay. And you kind of take a moment, take a breather, get your ducks in a row, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to be moving now. And they're like, huh? Yeah, I found out that you cheated on me like 2 days ago. Like, and this person might not even know. That's the interesting thing. Because, again, his face is away from you, and you're all over here to the left of him, right? His face is this way. So, he might think that he is really getting over on you. You have no idea that he's been seeing someone else. You have no idea that he's been all up in somebody else's DMs. He's been following all different kinds of people on Instagram. And again, I'm saying it could be a woman. You know, women can do anything. Women can cheat too, right? So, this person thinks they're being really clever. But you're over here like, I got you. I got all the info. I'm resting on it, though. I'm making my decision. I'm reconsidering getting involved with you in the Lover's card. Like, oh man, I thought you were the one. Or, oh man, I thought I made the right decision when you and I got together. And maybe you're feeling a little salty about it. Maybe you're feeling a little regretful about it. But you're not staying there long because you're going to end up here. And in a love relationship, that might, again, leave you feeling like you've been working at something, but what you've gotten out of it, any reward or any accolades or acclaim is just not serving you. It's not fulfilling to you. But what's going to trump all this, or what's going to get you through this, is the Two of Wands and the Magician. This person thinks that they got over on you, again, or it could be you. But that's not the case. And you're going to be all right. You're going to make your own choices. Like I said, you come to them. 2 days ago, I found out that you cheated on me. So I have all my stuff packed up in my boxes. The U-Haul's outside. I got my cousin here. I've got my best friend here. I'm taking the dog. and I'm leaving you right now. And the person's like, huh? What? Yeah, I found out 2 days ago, and this is what I've done. Period, you know, and this is, you gotta call and schedule, you gotta get the U-Haul scheduled. Oh, what a burden. And you have to stay in the house because you don't want them to know that you know. So you're standing your ground and you're playing the happy boyfriend, happy girlfriend, happy fiance, whatever. And that makes you get into your mental capacities more than your heart, And not to say like that Sagittarius is petty or vengeful or anything like that. I just think Sagittarius, much like the other fire signs, is protective of themselves. Fire signs have a wonderful way of protecting themselves, especially once they've been hurt, especially once they've kind of given their loyalty to someone. When you break loyalty with a fire sign, you better watch your back and your front and your side and the top of your head and the bottom of your feet. You got to watch all sides because, you can say a lot of bad things about fire signs, but the loyalty that is given, when it's violated, it's like there's no turning back. There's no turning back. And that's what's going on here. And I was just applying that to love just for the sake of those who aren't going to school or aren't trying to get a new job or don't have those opportunities in front of them. Some of you are probably dealing with love relationships that are tense or that have involved deception. So, in no matter what area of your life that is occurring in, that this might be occurring in, because it's not going to resonate for everyone. If it doesn't fit, please don't force it to fit. It's not for you. Leave it there. But if it does hit, if it is resonating with you, you are going to be okay. Like this is a rough start, and it might last through a good portion of April. It might last through perhaps the majority of April or even into May. But eventually it's going to turn around and you're going to find your way out and you're going to find a new course and you're going to go on that road and you're going to be fine. Because that's what you want and that's what you're going to get. And you're going to work for it. It's not a handout. It's a co-created outcome for you. Okay? So, Sag, I'm calling you Sag now that we've met formally. I'm just going to call you Sag from now on. I'm not sure. I'll call you Sagittarius again in the future. So, Sag, I thank you so much for watching this video. If you did find resonance within the messages, please leave a comment below. Also, feel free to like and share the video. And, of course, subscribe to the channel if you care to see future messages from me. I hope that's the case. And I will see you again in May when I come back with your general readings. Thanks for watching. Bye.